So welcome guys back to another video in the channel. Today we'll be doing part 2 of my Premier League predictions for the rest of the season. Today we'll be predicting the top 6 and who I think the top 6 will be to get into those European places. Obviously we won't do 7th because I just want to focus on the top 6 and see who will get into those positions. So let's start off with number 1. We're going to work our way down. I think that will be more easy in the context of the league. So we're going to start off with number 1, and that is going to be Liverpool. I think they'll win the league because they have been clearly the best team this season. That's beyond doubt, and they played really well. And I think in the next 3 games on the restart, they will win the league, and that will be cleared out. So that's my number 1, Liverpool. I think they'll win the league by a landslide. Number 2 in the league table will be Manchester City. I think this is undoubtedly as well. I think they will get second quite easily. I don't see Manchester City slipping up. I think they're one of the teams that they have quality world-class players in every single position. They have replacements as world-class players as well. Like, you have Leroy Sané coming off, or Raheem Sterling, or you have Riyad Mahrez coming on. The quality does not stop with their starting 11. It just keeps on going. And I think because of their big squad, they will keep their number 2 position. I don't see them winning the title either because I think Liverpool will wrap it up. But for Manchester City, I think they're not going to be too focused on the league, so they might slip up a few points, which may allow other teams to try and bridge the gaps. But I think because Manchester City will be focusing on the Champions League, which no one knows when's that going to be, but I think Manchester City will have that second position, which is why I'm going to give it to them. Number 3 position. This is quite a hard one because you have the likes of Leicester City who've been doing very well, but again, they're a team that don't have the deepest squad. I think they're a team that are benefiting with no European football this season, and they have a squad much like Sheffield United, where they have one squad and they just play that every single week. So maybe Leicester City might be disadvantaged because of this playing every 3 days thing, which is why I'm going to give the number 3 position to Chelsea. This is because I think they're quite a good squad and they have quite a lot of experience in their squad. Like in the bench, they have the likes of Willian, Pedro, Giroud, and I think those players can really win a lot of games for Chelsea. And I think they have quite fast players, young players like Hudson-Odoi who could also win games for Chelsea. So I think because of that, I think Chelsea will get that number 3 position. And obviously because they're signing Ziyech and Werner and those kind of big players, I think their players will be quite motivated to keep going for the rest of the season and provide Champions League football for these players. So I do think the number 3 position will go to Chelsea. Now, number 4, the 4th position. Now, this is going to be, again, a very, very difficult one. I'm not sure whose this is going to go to, but I'm going to give this one to Leicester City. I think they've had a very good season. They've probably had a better season than they won a title, but because the likes of Liverpool and City have been so ahead of everyone, I do think Leicester City will get the 4th position. I've dropped them a bit from 3rd because I think the likes of United, Chelsea will be chasing them, and I think they will slip up and they will be disadvantaged from this. I think most people will agree that because they're not playing European football, they're just playing the same squad every week. So it's not really going to work out for Leicester, and they may get a few injuries, especially if the likes of Vardy get injured. You don't really, Iheanacho is a good player, but he doesn't replace Vardy's goals, and that could really hurt Leicester, especially if they lose Vardy in the first few games. And I think Vardy won't be used to playing every 3 games because, especially, obviously, he quit international duty. So, he's not used to playing so many games in quick succession. So, which is why I'm going to give Leicester the 4th position. Now, the 5th position. This could be the last Champions League spot because remember, Manchester City could have that a disastrous ban in the Champions League. So this 5th position could possibly be a Champions League position. And I'm going to give it to Manchester United. I think this is a team that has a lot of quality, and they've invested so much money in the last few years. So I can't see past Manchester United. They spent money on Bruno Fernandes, which obviously I think was one of the signings of January, probably the best signing of that window. So that's why I think Manchester United will get that 5th position. But again, some people may be thinking why they can't catch Leicester or Chelsea. I think the points gap will be quite close, and especially when all these teams in a higher division will be playing each other. Will be playing each other quite a lot. So maybe they'll take a few points off them, and the gap will be quite shorter. And they're playing in the cup as well, Manchester United. So I think they may slip up, and they have quite a deep squad, but they aren't the best players like Jesse Lingard. He hasn't been performing quite well this season. So maybe they might slip up, and it's Manchester United and they always slip up. It's one of those things. So I think they could get that fifth place, that Champions League spot, which is why I'm going to give that one to Manchester United. The sixth position I am going to give to Arsenal, who are my favourite team. Of course, I support them. The reason I'm putting Arsenal in sixth because I don't think they will get the top four. It seems like a far-stretched approach, and realistically, I can't see Arsenal getting into the top four. Looking at some of the points, they aren't too far off, to be honest. Let's say they somehow even drew the game against Manchester City. They'll be level on points with Tottenham Hotspur, which means they'll only be 4 points off fifth, which could be a potential Champions League place, and only 7 points off a fourth Chelsea. But the thing is, all these other teams are playing each other so many times. Even we are, but the problem is other teams are as well. So they might take points off each other, like I mentioned before. So I do think Arsenal can bridge their gap quite close, and I do think this is going to be a matter of goal differential. So Arsenal do have to finish off games quite well. Looking at their goal differential, they've only got 4, which is really not the best, I don't think. Especially when you look at like a Leicester City 30 goal differential, which is very, very good, especially for a third place side. And looking at Manchester United, they've got 14, so they're well ahead in the goal differential. So Arsenal really do have to start scoring some goals. They're only on 40 points, which is really not good at all. That's like relegation stuff, which is ninth position. But again, the points gap is so close, and really Arsenal could easily catch up. But I just don't see them bridging that gap fully into the fourth position. And I do think they've got a deep squad, but I don't think they will. I just don't have that feeling. So I'm going to give the sixth position to Arsenal. So just quickly, without doing much detail on it, I just want to say my prediction for seventh and eighth. So I think Tottenham will come seventh, and I think Wolves will come eighth, mainly because Tottenham, I think they will fall apart, but I think Tottenham have a lot of players coming back, but I just don't like Tottenham either. So I think they will finish behind us. And I think Wolves don't have the deepest squad either, so I do think they're going to finish 8th and out of Europe, because I think the squads that are used to playing like every 3 days will benefit more like consistently. Wolves don't play every 3 days consistently. It's just this season they're having to because of the Europa League involvement. So that is it for my predictions. I'll quickly go through my predictions once more. So number 1, I said Liverpool. Number 2, City. Number 3, Chelsea. Number 4, Leicester. Number 5, Man United. Number 6, Arsenal. 7, Tottenham. 8, Wolves. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you have enjoyed, please leave a like, subscribe. See you guys in the next one. Bye bye.